Bolsonaro celebrates the death of a volunteer that participated at coronavirus vaccine research because it stopped the tests temporarily. But the volunteer died of suicide, and not because he took the vaccine.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, has sparked outrage by gloating over the suspension of clinical trials of the Chinese coronavirus vaccine after a volunteer's death. Anvisa said the trial of the vaccine, which is being developed by the Chinese biopharmaceutical firm Sinovac Biotech, had been suspended as a result of an adverse, serious event involving a participant in Brazil. Many Bolsonaro critics see a possible political motivation behind the move, and the head of the Brazilian research center coordinating the trial claimed the volunteer's death was not related to the vaccine. On Monday night, Bolsonaro wrote on Facebook, "This is the vaccine Doria wanted to force everyone in São Paulo to take." Another victory for Jair Bolsonaro. While vaccine trials are often halted to investigate suspected side effects, including the Phase 3 trial of the British Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine, the language used by the Brazilian authorities was unusually strong, although they provided no additional details except that the adverse event took place in late October. The Chinese government's approach to vaccines has become controversial after it had been revealed that hundreds of thousands of Chinese had already taken experimental COVID-19 vaccines as part of a state initiative to protect frontline health workers and officials traveling to high-risk nations. The Russian vaccine Sputnik V, developed by the Gamaleya Research Institute in Moscow, was given the green light by Ministry of Health of the Russian Federation in August, while a second vaccine in Russia, Epivac Corona, was also approved without entering Phase 3 clinical trials.
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Why is Bolsonaro opposed to a vaccine, even if the company developing the vaccine is promoted by a political foe? Or am I misreading the article? It seems like there is no logical reason to oppose a vaccine rollout, unless your sole motive in the crisis is to spread the virus and death. Less deaths would make him look good, regardless of the company that produced the vaccine.
'Cause he's a cunt. I'm sorry. I need to correct you. Fascist cunt. The fascists around the world seem to be pro-virus. I suppose they'd lose control if they didn't continuously find ways to screw up their countries and blame an invisible enemy.
Greater than blame an invisible enemy. I want this country to realize that we stand on the edge of oblivion. I want every man, woman and child to understand how close we are to chaos. I want everyone to remember why they need us.
Frightening how many movies have ceased to be fiction, and instead seem to have become a guidebook.
Some people just want to be controlled by fascist dictators who give them an outlet for their hate.
It makes them feel like they're in one of those movies. You know, it always works out for those people too. When the big bad man goes down, all his henchmen just go "oh shucks" and go home. No one get carpet bombed or beaten to death with a baseball bat when their fascist regime falls.
I guess I know what I'll be doing when Bolsonaro fucking dies.
Be prepared for people to get on their high horse and tell you to take the high road. I'll party with you, though.
I will always party when a fascist cunt dies, especially if it's ironic.
That's my favorite Alanis Morissette lyric.
Poor participant. He killed himself and someone actually celebrated that. Never condone such things.
Just wait. Vaccine causes suicidal ideation.
Hoo boy. I can already imagine the result of this.
I've got a feeling Bolsonaro is going to have a really bad day soon, once the Brazilian people get tired of his shit.
Way overdue. He's like a freaking Bond villain at this point.
Always has been.
So I've seen many stories about this guy and he seems like genuine trash, so my question is, how do they feel about him in Brazil? Because if they feel the same about him as he's being portrayed to other countries, it's hard to understand why he's still in power there. Is it a Trump situation where you love him or hate him?
Greater than is it a Trump situation where you love him or hate him? Yes. And most people I know hate him. However, I know some who believe every single word of the bullshit he says.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.